Hi, I'm Johanna Aída Reimers Bode. I would like you to know a little about my life. Everything began when I was born on the 4th of October 1857 in Valparaiso, Chile. My father Heinrich Reimers was born in 1814 in Flensburg to a German family. He was a merchant marine by profession and a ship captain. When young he moved to Hamburg in search of better opportunities. My mother Dorothea Bode was born in 1822 in Hamburg. Hamburg was part of the Hanseatic League, a trade and defensive federation of German merchant communities on the Baltic Sea and of cities now located in the Netherlands, northern Germany, Sweden, Poland, Latvia and Estonia. The lingua franca used throughout the Hanseatic League was Middle Low German. In 1842 there was an enormous fire in Hamburg that reduced a third of the city to ashes. In 1848 the social inequality devolved into a revolution that brought much instability and insecurity to families. Heinrich and Dorothea decided to emigrate to Chile, where Heinrich had passed time on his trips. They disembarked in Valparaiso from the three-masted schooner, the Dorothea, which they owned. It had a crew of 25 men along with my sisters Lyle and Minna. My mother left Hamburg already pregnant. My sister Anita or Agnes was born on the ship near Concepcion. She was baptized in Valparaiso. Dorothea gave birth to two more daughters in Valparaiso, Berta and myself. My parents lived the rest of their lives in Valparaiso. My father practiced his profession as navigator with his boat, dedicating himself to maritime transport of commercial goods. Their tomb is in the Cementerio de Dissidents in Valparaiso. I married my love Luis Ladislao Guevara Arias. He was born in 1842 in Maloa, Chile. He was of Basque ancestry and grandson of José Antonio Guevara y Sosa and son of Francisco Javier Guevara Perez. Luis was a textile merchant. He built between the years 1881 and 1883 from land reclaimed from the sea, the offices and headquarters of his business known as Crucero Guevara, located on the corner of Avenues Irazores and Blanco in Valparaiso. During our marriage he managed to multiply and enlarge the company. He opened a large wool mill in Bradford, England, and we moved there to live in 1909. My husband died in 1912 in England and I returned to Valparaiso in 1916. We had 12 incredible children: Blanca, Luis, Eliza, Alfredo, Horacio, Raquel, Edmundo, Elias, Dorilla, Jorge, Sibila, Alvaro, and Susana. Luis and I had 28 marvelous grandchildren. Our son Luis took charge of his father's business in England and returned to Chile in 1927. He bought the Ross Castle and lived there until 1967 with his family, wife Joyce and son Luis. We had grandchildren by our daughter Eliza, Wilfred Eric, Gertrude, Lionel, Cirillo, Olaf and Lucy. Wilfred Eric and Lionel were pioneers in the new medium of film. Our daughter Raquel and her husband and cousin, Alberto Helfman Reimers, gave birth to our granddaughter, Isabel. Alberto and his brother Gustavo were founders of the weekly illustrated magazine Sucesos between 1902 and 1932. Our daughter Dorilla and her husband Juan Braun Hamburger had 6 children: Hector, Adolfo, Juan, Jorge, Olga and Sara. Juan worked his whole life in the family business Sociedad Explotadora de Tierra del Fuego. Our son Jorge had 3 children: Maria, Luis and Salvador. Our daughter Sibila and her husband the lawyer and politician Octavio Seneret Silva had Sibila, Margarita, Maria Luisa, Raquel, and Octavio. My Seneret grandchildren were all artists in distinct branches: painting, literature and film. Our son Alvaro and his wife Merod Guyas had a daughter Aladine, Nini. Alvaro and his wife were both artists dedicated to painting. Our daughter Susanna had 5 children: Leslie, Susanna, Henrietta, Louis and John. Susanna married Harry Watts in the United States in 1916 when we returned to Valparaiso from England. Susanna was awarded the Order of the Eagle of St. Sava by the King of Serbia while in England for her work helping Serbian war refugees during World War I. She lived the rest of her life in the USA and dedicated herself to the painting and sculpture. It has been a pleasure to share my history with you.